Now, joining us on the program, I am thrilled to have with us from the University of Arkansas, Dr. Wesley Stites. And Dr. Stites, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program tonight.
Yeah, glad to be on.
Also, very pleased to have with us Arkansas State Representative Charlie Collins. And a representative, thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you both. Now, coming up this Saturday in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at Temple Shalom, there's going to be a debate over the Second Amendment, and you and I guess both of you will be arguing in support of the Second Amendment. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. This all came about in an odd way. When I was running for the state representative seat, one of the key parts of my platform was a proposal to change Arkansas's concealed carry law to allow campus carry. And in the news discussion that followed, there was a letter to the editor by someone who happened to work at a major university in northwest Arkansas, near my district in Fayetteville. And he wrote a letter to the editor that basically said, Charlie Collins is crazy. How could you think of such a nutty idea? And I responded to him with a letter that said, look, we can disagree, and that's okay, but let's not call each other names. Let's talk through these things.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, he got the idea of inviting us to have this kind of a forum. And my good friend, Dr. Wesley Stites, is one of the smartest people I know, so I'm glad to have him on my team.
Well, that's great. Now, I've got to ask you, Dr. Stites, we don't often hear about pro-Second Amendment professors on college campuses.
Well, I'm definitely in the minority there. I'd have to say that I am certainly not the only one, but I'm not very many of like-minded people on campus, that's for sure.
Well, I applaud you for speaking out, and I mean that sincerely because, you know, as much as we like to think of academia as a place where, you know, you're free to have your own ideas, we know that sometimes that's not always the case. Are you concerned at all about what your colleagues will say after you come out in support of the Second Amendment during this debate?
Oh, a bit. Certainly something I thought about. There's actually going to be on the opposite side another UA professor, actually a guy I'm friends with. We get along pretty well, but be interesting to see how it shakes out. It's not the only thing I've spoken out about over the years, so I'm not going to surprise some people with this, but should be kind of interesting to see how it goes. There's no question that the most people on campus and the administration are not thrilled with this idea.
Interestingly enough, arguing for gun control, as I understand it, is going to be the Northwest Arkansas ACLU chapter director Tom Kennedy. The American Civil Liberties Union chapter director for Northwest Arkansas is going to be arguing against the enumerated Second Amendment, the right that's
correct.
actually written out in the Bill of Rights.
Yes, it's so Tom Kennedy. That's the one that Charlie was referring to, who that he had the exchange with in the newspaper. And Tom's a nice guy. He's actually a retired history professor. But yeah, the ACLU has always been kind of out there in a sense. They're all for every right except the right to keep and bear arms.
Have you, Representative, I mean, have you explored this with Mr. Kennedy? Because I'm always fascinated how somebody can say we're all in favor of civil liberties except that one.
It's interesting. The touchstone for all of this is, as I mentioned, the concept of specifically changing the Arkansas concealed carry to allow concealed carry on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So my belief is a lot of the discussion is going to be around that aspect of Second Amendment rights. Obviously, we'll get into the broader picture as well, and one of the things we're going to try and do is flush out the logic in just the manner you describe. How can you be for every right in the Bill of Rights, every right in the Constitution, but be against the Second Amendment?
Yeah. Now, on the issue of campus carry, has this been something that has been discussed there on campus in Fayetteville, Professor?
Well, it's been discussed in large part because of Representative Collins' initiative in putting forward this proposal. There was a bill he brought forward, as he mentioned, in this session, and it unfortunately didn't pass. It tied in committee in the vote. We didn't get, but it needed a few more votes to get out of committee.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll have a another chance at it in the next legislative session, which will 2 years from now.
And one of the big reasons for that is in Arkansas, unlike a lot of the other southern states, we continue to be dominated from a political perspective by elected Democrats. So Arkansas has a Democrat governor, a Democrat majority in the Senate, and a Democrat majority in the House. On the Education Committee, where this bill went, there was a clear Democrat majority, and the vote to get the bill out of committee fell along party lines. So one of the things that we're getting really excited about here in Arkansas is after making huge gains in both the House and the Senate, we expect that we have a decent shot at getting a majority in one house or the other in 2012. And if we can get that kind of a majority and get the support of some conservative Democrats, cultural conservatives anyway, that we could get a bill like House Bill 1479, which would expand concealed carry on campus, into law here in this state in the next session.
All right. Well, Representative and Professor, thank you guys for coming on the program tonight. I wish you all the best of luck this weekend. Again, Saturday, April the 2nd, 1:30 p.m. at Temple Shalom in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Again, I hope you guys do a fantastic job, and I'm sure that you will.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to share this event.
State Representative Charlie Collins with us, Dr. Wesley Stites with the University of Arkansas.